All right, today we're going to be talking about the quotient property of logarithms. So to get us started, we know that property of logarithms will have something to do with logs, but let's talk real quick about what does that word quotient mean. So take a second, see if you can think of something, maybe jot something down, and I will provide our Google search for us. So a quotient is the result obtained by dividing one quantity by another. A result obtained by dividing one quantity by another. What's important here is that we are talking about dividing, which means that whenever you see the word quotient, you should think about something dealing with division. Okay, so kind of like before with the product property of logarithms, we're going to use our calculator using the log button and round to 3 decimal places to find the value of each of these 4 things. So go ahead and take out your calculator. I'll get you started with log 4.602. Okay, let's go ahead and pause your video, see if you can fill in the rest of those log values using your calculator. Pause your video now. All right, so here's what I came up with. Remember, each one of these is really saying 10 to the 0.602 power is equal to 4. 10 to the 0.477 power is equal to 3, etc. But these are our answers that we get here. All right, so now let's think about in our calculator, log 28. Oops. 28, my pen stopped working there for a second, minus log 7.602. Well, if we go back and look here, oh man, I picked the wrong color. 0.602. Should be in red. See what I'm trying to do here? 0.602, if we look back, was really the same thing as the log of 4. Okay, let's do log 12 minus log 4. We get 0.477. Well, if you look up above on your page, 0.477 was really the same thing as log 3. And this was really the same thing as log 4. I'm going to look here and I'm going to guess that this is the same thing as log 5. And this is the same thing as log 7. Okay. Now, how I'm getting that, we can check in our calculator. Log 30 minus log 6.699, which was the same thing we had written for log 5. And if we do log 21, remember you should be trying these on your calculator, make sure you understand how your calculator is working for you. We end up with 0.845, which was the same thing as log 7. So I want you to pause your video and I want you to look over A through D and think about how we started the lesson talking about the quotient, the word quotient. And think about how we might be getting 28 and 7 to become 4, 12 and 4 to become 3. Think about that for a second. Pause your video if you need to. Okay, and hopefully you're coming up with quotient meaning division. 28 divided by 7 is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Well, then let's look at these longer ones. So this one, I have log of 64 minus log of 2 minus log of 8 I ended up with that 0.602, which really is the same thing as log of 4. Well, that's because what I'm really doing is I'm taking 64 divided by 2 divided by 8, and that gets me 4. So what I'm really doing when I get to that 4 is I'm taking that was supposed to be in red, log of 4. Looking at this next one then, I'm going to take the log of 45 minus the log of 5 minus the log of 3. So following this logic, that should really be the log of 45 divided by 5 divided by 3. Well, 45 divided by 5 is 9, divided by 3 is 3. So we should end up with log 3. Let's go ahead and see if our calculator confirms that. Log of 45 minus log of 5 minus log of 3. 0.477, which is our log of 3. So yesterday we learned that products go with addition, and addition leads us to a product. Here we're learning that subtraction goes with division. Division leads us to subtraction. So let's take that property and reverse it. We're looking for an answer of 4. So we need two numbers that'll go inside this log that when we divide them, we get 4. In this one, we need two numbers that when we divide them, we get 3. So I'm going to go with 40 divided by 10. Gets me 4. For 3, I'm going to go 27 divided by 9 would get me 3. All right, so now it's time for a few predictions. We're going to try them without a calculator, and then we will test them. So I want to figure out log of 2 is equal to, I'm going to start you out with log of 20. And you decide what log has to go here to make that a true statement. Or I'm going to start you out with log of, let's go with 14. And you tell me what log has to go here. Finally, then I want you to work on number 5, log of 18 minus log of 3. What does it equal in terms of a log? Okay, we don't want decimals here, we want the actual logarithm. So pause your video and try these fill in the blanks for yourself, see what you can come up with. All right, here are the answers I came up with, 10, 7, and 6, because 20 divided by 10 will get me 2. 14 divided by 7 will get me 2. And 18 divided by 3 gets me 6. So this is the quotient property of logarithms. This property works with variables too. So I know Mrs. Fry talked about this with LFHS multiplying, but this time we're going to have to read from left to right because that's what subtraction says to do. So we're going to write this into a single logarithm. And we could technically write it as a single log of L divided by F divided by H divided by S, which is fine. But we also sometimes write division as L over F over H over 8, that's not right, over S, right? Because each one of those things would have been subtracted. The other way you can write it if you want to is log of L is definitely in the top because that technically is a positive log, whereas these ones are all negative logs, in which case all of the negatives end up in the denominator, okay? Because this whole expression does actually mean the same as that, which means the same as that. All right, so now let's put this together with, put this together with the product property. So anything that's positive, right, these ones are both positive, addition is going to turn into a product, which would be multiplication. So reading from left to right, I'm going to start with these two things first, and I would condense these into log of 3 times 10, which is 30. And I still have minus log 5, and I still have plus log 2. Well, the next thing then I would combine are these two. Log 30 minus log 5. Subtraction means to do division. So I'm going to have the log of 30 divided by 5, which hopefully you guys can agree 30 divided by 5 is really just 6. And then I still have this plus log 2. So now when I combine these, the addition here would really say multiply 6 times 2, which is 12. So this whole thing is equal to log of 12. If you want to check on your calculator, you can do the decimals, but also this would be the same as 3 times 10 divided by 5 plus times 2. Gets me 12, right? So I just use all of these inner values and my product property along with my quotient property. So other notes from the end of the video, you do have a big ideas assignment, so please make sure that you get that done. Something to just remind from yesterday and today. So if you have log of m plus log of n, we turn that into a multiplication problem. If you have log of m minus log of n, we turn that into a single log with a division problem. Okay, so that's our summary so far of properties of logs. There will be one more, which is one that you've already kind of seen coming up shortly, known as the power property. But for now, these are our two. So product goes with addition. Quotient is dealing with subtraction, with logs. All right, go ahead and make sure you talk to your teacher if you are stuck on anything. Schedule a Google Meet if you need to chat.